For as long as I can remember, we've been told this one simple story about how we humans react under pressure. When things get really tough, our choices boil down to two basic options. We either fight or we take flight. I mean, have you ever felt that? That feeling of being backed into a corner where your options just seem to be shrinking by the second? That feeling of being trapped, not just by the situation, but by your own reactions? And this isn't some new idea, right? For decades, this has been drilled into us by science, by pop culture, you name it. You either attack the problem head on, which often means treating other people as competitors, or you run from it, seeing them as a danger. It's that classic survival of the fittest narrative. But what if that story is incomplete? What if that's not the whole picture? What if there's a third door, a more powerful, maybe more ancient, and definitely more human instinct that we've been completely overlooking? Let's dive in. So this whole idea that we're all just competitors in some big win-or-lose game, we can call that the fight or flight trap. It's a mindset, yeah, but it's more than that. It's a lens that frames every single interaction as a potential threat. When you're stuck in this trap, you're basically sorting every person you meet into one of two boxes. They're either a competitor you have to beat, or they're a danger you have to avoid. But here's what's so interesting. This isn't just a psychological quirk. It's actually an oversimplification of our own biology, and it literally limits our potential. And this is where we finally get to that third door I was talking about. It's called the friend instinct. Now, I want to be really clear here. This is not just about being nice or polite. We're talking about a distinct biological state, a powerful social engagement system that is hardwired into our DNA for collaboration and connection. The science behind this is absolutely fascinating. It's all connected to something in our nervous system called the social engagement system. When our brain perceives that we're safe, a specific nerve, the ventral vagal nerve, kicks in and activates what you could call our friend mode. This literally slows down our heart rate, it softens the muscles in our face, and it tunes our ears to better hear human voices. It's our body physically preparing us to connect, not to attack or run away. Okay, so here is the absolute bottom line, the crucial point. When we're in fight or flight, we are running on pure impulse. The creative, logical, problem-solving parts of our brain pretty much go offline. But when we activate that friend instinct, our prefrontal cortex, the seat of our higher intelligence, it stays online. This means we don't just survive the situation, we actually get to solve it. So this is all great, but how do we actually use this? Well, like with most things, we have to start with ourselves. A lot of us, if we're being honest, are in a constant state of internal civil war. We fight our difficult feelings with harsh self-criticism, or we flee from them through distraction, through avoidance. You know the drill. So the very first step to activating this third instinct is to become your own ally. Instead of trying to crush your anxiety or outrun your sadness, what if you chose to just befriend those parts of you? There's a really powerful way to do this, a practice called the Minds Council. And it's a pretty simple 3-step process. First, you just name the part. You acknowledge the feeling, maybe saying something like, okay, I see you, the part of me that's terrified of this presentation. Second, you appreciate its positive intent. You could say, I know you're just trying to protect me, to make sure I'm prepared and don't fail. And third, you just stay with attention. You just sit with that feeling for a moment without fighting it or running away. It sounds simple, but this practice can turn that internal conflict into a real source of inner strength. All right, so once you start making peace on the inside, you'll be amazed at how it changes things on the outside. When you're no longer at war with yourself, you stop seeing the whole world as a battlefield. In fact, there's a ton of research showing that under stress, we have this powerful biological drive called tend and befriend. It's a deep, deep instinct to connect with others during a crisis. And here's the really cool part, the key biological difference. Fight or flight, that's all fueled by adrenaline and cortisol. But this tend and befriend response, well, that's fueled by oxytocin. This hormone actively reduces fear and increases trust. It's literally telling our brain that the safest place to be in a storm is together. But let's be honest, way too often, our relationships get stuck in that fight instinct mode. They become transactional, we start keeping score, right? And the driving question behind all our interactions becomes, what have you done for me lately? This whole approach just keeps us isolated, even when we're around the people we love. But what if we could shift our perspective entirely? What if we just chose to operate from that friend instinct instead? This is the friend instinct question. How can we expand each other? See how that just changes everything? It completely reframes the relationship from you versus me to us versus the problem. Think about a disagreement at work or even with your partner. Instead of it being a battle of wills, asking this question turns you into a team solving a creative puzzle together. It unlocks this incredible shared intelligence that can only exist when two people are truly connected. Okay, so let's zoom out one last time. Let's talk about how we interact with strangers, with society as a whole. Modern life, with its social media algorithms and media bubbles, it's kind of hacked our fight or flight response. It's trained us to see anyone with a different opinion as an immediate threat. The antidote to this is what we can call the ally approach. It's pretty simple. Instead of leading with certainty, being sure that you're right and they're wrong, you lead with curiosity. And instead of judging some projection of who you think they are, you seek proximity. It's really easy to hate a category, an idea of a person. It's a whole lot harder when you're looking them in the eye. And this is the core logic we need for our modern interconnected world. We're facing these complex global problems that no single person or country or group can solve alone. In a way, every stranger you meet is just a potential ally in a situation you haven't even encountered yet. Look, that old story, survival of the fittest, it was useful for a time. It got us here. But the challenges we're facing today require a new story. They require us to tap into a different instinct. The future really does depend on the survival of the friendliest. So, I want to leave you with this question to carry with you. The next time you feel that flash of anger or that cold pull of wanting to withdraw, what if you just paused and asked yourself this? What if that person across from you, or even that challenging part of yourself, is simply an ally you haven't recognized yet?